Hello guys, let's continue our traditional archery series. This time I would like to speak couple notes about the thumb release techniques. What do I know about the thumb draw? Well, I used to shoot only with thumb draw for 4 years. From 2014 until 2018, and I competed with it, and I also won 2 national championships in horseback archery with this technique. So that's why I have a few opinions about this release. How I do it is, as you know, the thumb release is so that thumb is only finger that pulls the string. So you take the string with the thumb and then you lock it with your first finger, or sometimes I have seen that even couple of fingers are used to it, or middle finger, and then you pull and release, and that's it. Okay, fine. But the point what I would like to give you is that I prefer the technique where these fingers are very tight in my fist, like this, and then the thumb, after I take the string, the thumb touches this spot on my knuckle of middle finger. I would like to think is this like a hammer and I don't know the word. So I keep these as a good solid support, and when I put my thumb in this one point and lock it with my first finger, these solid fingers in fist keeps this angle of the thumb always the same. So it is kind of anchor point what I have spoken in last previous videos. I'm really I teach that you always need to have some kind of little physical anchor point in your face or your ear or whatever feels good and is okay to you, but it is exact spot where you pull the string before you release, so that the draw length is always the same. So this spot here in this thumb technique, this is kind of an anchor too. So in other words, if I keep these fingers loose and I only take the thumb and lock it with the first finger, then there is great danger that when you are in excitement and a stressful situation, when you start pulling, you also pull the thumb with your first finger very tightly, and that makes string move backwards many millimeters, even many centimeters, and that affects also your draw length, even if you have some kind of knuckle anchor point here. This can make the string go more back than you thought it was. And also, if you pull it too much here, then it is also affecting when you release, because first the string goes forward, you have thought that now I release, but it is not the release yet. It goes forward, and then here is the release. So it is not exact release if you are not careful with this movement. Of course, you understand that the release should be in exact moment when your brain tells that now it goes. So if you use loose fingers, make sure that it is only locked so that it barely keeps the string, and it is really easy and small movement to let the string go. But what I prefer, like I said, is that I put these fingers tightly, then I take the string and I put my thumb to the spot. Then I lock with this finger, and what is good also in this technique is that if I pull accidentally this first finger more tight, it doesn't twist the thumb, it just puts it more tightly against this solid ground, as you might say. So when I pull the string back, and even if I try to squeeze more and more this first finger for excitement or stressful situation also, the thumb is always in the same position. It is just a little bit tightly against the middle finger's knuckle. Okay, and then the release, it should be this kind of twisting movement. So you should roll your wrist like this to make the release happen. Let's look more closely. I'm locked, I pull, and when I start releasing, I turn my wrist, and that movement opens this lock. Don't make the release like this, that you count that 1, 2, 3, now I let the arrow go. No, not this. You just need to relax a little bit and start twisting the wrist, and this movement opens the lock, and the string goes really nice and free right away. There's no movement backwards and forwards before the release. It just keeps the string on the spot, and when you turn, it lets it go. And the one benefit more is that when you turn your wrist, this first finger goes away from the string. Many beginners, when they first start to shooting with a thumb raw, and they opens just this lock and the thumb, the first finger is on the string's way, and the string is hitting the first finger, and it hurts. It really hurts, and also it affects to the string movements, and it's not so clean release. Turn your wrist so it all happens automatically. The first finger goes away from the string, and the string gets on its way immediately when you just turn it a little bit. It's the same thing with guns and the trigger. You should not just aim and then pull the trigger. You need to squeeze, and then the shot, it just happens when it's time. And you learn when it will happen when you just repeat and repeat thousands of shots. Same thing here. You need to think the release that you pull back to the anchor point, and you just keep the aim on the spot in the bullseye, even with your instinct or with some sights if you have. You just keep it, and then when you are ready, you start turning the wrist and relaxing, and whoops, and then it just happens, and you will learn it when you repeat it lot of times. Never do any kind of release so that you pull back, you aim, and you see, no, now it needs to happen. No, it is not good technique, and if people have target panics or so, this makes it more worst. If you just keep everything is correct, fine, yes, but then the moment when you should release, you are not sure when and now. No, that makes it worst. You just pull, aim, keep the tension and the pull in its anchor, and then let the release happen. That's the key. I used to have a thumb ring. It was made by Jimmy Bergqvist from Sweden, grand old man of Swedish horseback archery. It is a teardrop shaped ring with no grooves at all. That was what I preferred to use, because with that kind of ring you just put the string behind the ring against the skin. It's the skin which senses this string, and the ring is just keeping it, the string behind it. And when you lock it with that ring, the thumb is quite straight. You don't need to put it like this, you just keep it really relaxed and straight position, and then gently lock the ring and this system with the first finger. So it was really easy to use, and especially when you make this kind of release, that shape of the ring was really smooth and accurate. That was what I like to have. There are many different type of thumb rings, and some of them have specific grooves for the string. You put the string on the groove, and then the lip is big and protects the thumb. That is fine and good and really smooth to use too, but it's a little bit slower than the teardrop shape or cylinder type of shape of the ring, because you don't have, in horseback archery and rapid shooting, you don't have time to put the string to the groove and think closely how do you lock it. You just need to put the new arrow on the string and then just take the string and pull and release. Of course, there are leather rings and even tape, what people used to have for protection. That's fine too. And also you can use protection and a little softening on this string to make it more comfortable. But those are making the angle of the thumb a little bit bigger. But just keep this in mind, that use your 3 fingers as a solid base where to lay this thumb, always on the same spot, and where to lock it. That is the key, that the angle of the thumb is not too big and it does not put any pain or extra tension to these tendons on the thumb. I hope you get the point. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.